What's up, guys? We are back for another Black Series review, digging back into the Archive Wave 2 releases. Taking a look at the little green guy himself, we've got Yoda up today. Another prime candidate for photoreal that I think turned out pretty good. So we've got him here in our standard Black Series Archive packaging. So you've got him there in that bubble with the call-out artwork down there in the corner. And then on the back of the card, you've got more of that artwork as well as a little bit of a write-up and then a shot of the original box as well as his year of initial release. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Archive Yoda figure. This is one that I've really been looking forward to getting a comparison to the original because I was relatively happy with that figure from the get-go. But the idea of having a photoreal upgrade really got me excited. And I think that the difference is a lot more night and day than I was expecting it to. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with this figure. We'll take a look at Articulation first. He's pretty similar to most Black Series with a couple differences just because of his size. So the head is a giant ball peg, which is still pretty recent for most figures anyway. So you've got a head that can go down and he goes back only a little bit, bobble side to side, and then you've got rotation. He's got arms that go out and then they swivel, and you've got your standard swiveling elbow. But we've also got a hinge in there, and then we've got some vertical hinges on the wrist with rotation. He has a diaphragm cut that runs right around this belt line, so he can move backwards and forwards and bob side to side, and then he rotates up there as well. Legs are pretty standard for Black Series in terms of the hips and the crotch area, so just outward, and then forward and backward, and then he has a thigh swivel with no actual knee joints, but he does have hinges and rotation at the ankles. They don't really move a lot, but they move enough, so you've got a little bit up and then back, and then of course you've got your rotation. So he does pretty much everything you really need this figure to do, is just kind of bam, just have him stand right there. But he has some articulation, but I think most of it's kind of lost in the fact that, again, you're just going to have him standing up most likely. Of course, the looks are what I was really interested in with this figure. It's all about the upgrade, about the comparison from original to Archive. And I think that, yeah, they did a pretty good job with this figure. I've always been pretty okay with this Yoda figure. I don't have really any gripes. He is, of course, a little under-articulated in some ways, but for this kind of figure, it really doesn't matter. I like the design. I like the colors used. I like the soft goods. They hang pretty well on this figure. I really don't have much to complain about, and the belt actually does help to keep things just in place, and they work. You've got his undersuit here, which is nicely done, and it's just it's brown rather, textured plastic, so it's textured when they really didn't even need to do that, but they did it anyway. We've got the green skin for the claws and the toes and all of that, and then of course, you know, as kind of a vintage nod, we've got the snake here, which is just your kind of standard little rubber snake that is fashioned into a necklace almost for the figure, but you can remove it and take it off if you don't actually want to keep it on there. And then you've got his little necklace as well. So he's that same Yoda figure that I've been happy with for a number of years now. He just happens to have a crazy new face. And for my money, the head is really worth the price of admission. When it comes to this figure, the face printing is worth the price of admission. If you've already got the original figure, this is a huge upgrade. There is a lot going on to really show us that the sculpt has always been there on this figure, but just a good application of paint will enhance everything. So there's a ton of sculpted wrinkles. Just the kind of sunken nature of Yoda's face, kind of saggy, obviously very old. It kind of helps to relay his age here a little bit better. You've got some slightly gray white paint back there for the hair, which is a little bit of a difference from the original as well. But it's all in those eyes for me. The photoreal being used there to print the kind of dark circles around his eyes and just show that he looks really old and really tired. It very well comes through here, and I think that this is a fantastic example of what photoreal can do for this line, for figures that for the longest time we haven't really seen their true potential. And here's, of course, our comparison for the new on the left and the old on the right. And it's a night and day thing for me. It's so much different to see what this technology can do for these figures. And again, like I said, this is the point where it's like, yeah, this is definitely worth the price of admission just to have a slightly different face on an existing figure, but they absolutely did a great job with the photoreal here. This looks almost cartoony to me in how much this looks realistic by comparison. So this thing is a definite improvement due to all of that extra shading and those really nicely done eyes. Of course, our Yoda also comes with some accessories, so the same kind of stuff that you had with the original one. So you've got the necklace and the snake, if you want to consider those, because they are removable. But we've also got Yoda's cane here, which is just some craggy, very stick-like plastic, no paint on it, and it's just kind of in a crook shape. So it's exactly what you think a cane is. And then we've got his lightsaber here, which is done pretty good. You've of course got your slightly smaller translucent green blade, and you've got your hilt with your black and silver on there. And I never displayed my original one with a lightsaber. I might this time around just to see, but I think the quintessential accessory for Yoda is just to have his cane, because of course you don't see him use this on Dagobah or anything. But I like the fact that they gave it to us, even though I don't really feel the need to have it. So overall, this is a solid figure. If you've really been interested in getting a Yoda for a while, and maybe never got him the first time around, or only just now getting in, this is the perfect time to grab one, because he definitely blows away the original. There is no doubt about it for me that this is 100% an upgrade, even though, again, it's just some extra paint, but it really makes a world of difference when it comes to these figures. I've always been pretty fond of this Yoda figure to begin with, so I was already happy with how he turned out at a base level. But to get this new face really is an upgrade for the shelf, and it's a fantastic example, again, of what this line can do when they apply it to figures we've had for a long time. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Archive Yoda figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.